this video, I'm going to walk you through how to expand brackets in algebra. So, when we expand brackets, this involves writing an equivalent expression without brackets. So remember when we spoke about equivalent expressions, they are just expressions that have equal values, so equivalent means the same. Now, there's two ways to expand brackets. So in an expression, I'm going to show you how. So the first way is kind of like repeated addition. So you might have an expression that looks like this: 2, then in brackets a plus b. So for the first way, I'm just going to put 1 here. You would go a plus b, and then plus a plus b. Because if you notice here, we have 2 lots of a plus b, just like that. So then once you've expanded the brackets, we can actually simplify. And you remember when we saw a pronumeral by itself, it has an invisible coefficient of 1. And what we're going to do is now we're going to collect the like terms. So the like terms are a. So I've got 1, 2, and I need to add them. So this becomes 2a. And then I can combine my b's. So plus 2b. And this is my answer. I'm going to show you one other way. So way 2. So we've got the same expression, 2a plus b. And with this way, we're going to use multiplication. So if you notice here, because I've got my 2 in front, I've got 2 lots of a and I've got 2 lots of b. So how I'm going to write that is 2 times a plus 2 times b. I'll just go over that one more time. I've got 2 lots of a and I've got 2 lots of b. So I've just written it like this. Once you've expanded the bracket, now we're going to simplify. So 2 times a just becomes 2a, and then 2 times b just becomes 2b. And these are 2 ways to expand the brackets, okay? So you can use either way. You'll get the same answer, okay? They're exactly the same. So we're going to use something called the distributive law to eliminate brackets, and I'm just going to show you what that looks like. So the distributive law is used in algebra, and it's also just used in general arithmetic. So for instance, if I gave you a question that says, let's say 5 times 27, this is actually equal to 5 brackets 20 plus 7. Because what we'll do is we'll expand this bracket, so we would go 5 times 20 and then 5 times 7. So 5 times 20 plus 5 times 7. 5 times 20 equals 100, and 5 times 7 equals 35. 100 plus 35 equals 135. So this is the distributive law. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like with algebra, okay? So for instance, if you have a brackets b plus c, we use the distributive law. A times b plus a times c. A times b plus a times c. Oops, that should be multiply. A times c. When we multiply pronumerals, we can go, a times b equals ab plus a times c equals ac. I'll just show you one more example with subtraction. It's the same. So we've got A in brackets B, take away C. This equals, we have to go A times B, then A times C. A times B, and we're taking away, so I'm going to write my minus sign here. A times C. A times B gives AB, then take away AC, okay? So that's the distributive law. What we'll now do is, we'll now do some examples. So it says, repeat the expression that is inside the brackets and then collect the like terms. So these are the two expressions we're going to work with today. And I've just given you a little reminder. The number outside the brackets is the number of copies required. So for instance, because 2 is outside the brackets, that means we need 2 copies. So it's kind of like it's multiplying by 2. But when we have 3, we're going to do 3 copies. So let's do the first one, A. I'm going to write out my expression, 2A plus M. Now, the way that it wants us to actually work this out is to repeat the expression. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to write A plus M plus A plus M, because I'm repeating the expression, I'm repeating it 2 times. Once I've done that, it says collect the like terms. So A and A are like terms and M are like terms. And remember, if you just have a pronumeral by itself, it's got an invisible coefficient of 1. So 1A plus 1E equals 2A. And then 1M plus 1M equals 2M. And that's your final answer. Now let's do the same for B. So you've got 3 in brackets 2M plus 5. Now I need to repeat it 3 times because there's a 3 in front. So 2M plus 5 plus 2M plus 5 plus 2M plus 5. I've done that 3 times. So now I just need to collect the like terms. So my like terms are M, and my other like terms are just my number by itself, which is 5. Okay, I'll just quickly highlight just to show you. So this is one group of like terms. And this is my other group of like terms. And if it's confusing to you, you can also get some different coloured highlighters just to make sure it's nice and clear. 2M plus 2M plus 2M gives you 6M. And then 5 plus 5 plus 5 gives you 15. So 6M plus 15 is my final answer. Now, let's just do a few more questions. With this question, it says expand the following expression. So we're going to use the distributive law to do this, just as I showed you previously. So we'll do, the first question is 5x plus 3. Now, when we're working these questions out, the first thing I want you to do is these arrows, just to remind you that you need to go 5 times x and then 5 times 3. And if you like, as well as writing the arrows, you can do a little multiplication symbol there, okay? So once we've done that, we're going to write out our expanded brackets. So 5 times x multiplies to give 5x. Then 5 times 3 gives you 15. And do you notice I've put the plus here? Okay, because I have a plus here. Now, that's my final answer. Secondly, I've got B. So B is 3 in brackets 2m plus 5. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to draw our arrows in, because we're going to go 3 times 2m, and we're going to go 3 times 5. And I'm also going to put my little multiplication signs in here just so I'm very clear, especially when I'm starting to do these types of questions. So let's expand our brackets. 3 times 2m gives you 6m. I'm going to add a plus in there because I've got plus here. And then 3 times 5 gives you 15. Cool, so that's your final answer. Let's do one more set of examples. Okay, when it's a little bit, it's not necessarily more tricky, but this time we're going to involve subtraction questions. So the question just says expand the following expressions exactly as it was with the last type of question. So I'm going to write out my expression, 4 in brackets a, take away 3. I'm going to add my arrows in because I'm going to multiply 4 by a and then 4 by negative 3. Okay. 4 times a is 4a. And then I'm going to put my subtraction sign and I'm going to go 4 times 3 to give me 12. Okay. So this is my final answer, 4a, take away 12. Let's just do one more example. B. 3a in brackets 2m, take 5. Let's draw our arrows in. 3a times 2m, and then 3a times 5. It's a little bit more going on in this expression, but it's not necessarily harder. So 3 times 2 gives you 6, and then am. Okay, so I've just multiplied 3a times 2m, and it gives you 6am. And then 3 times 5 gives you, I'm going to put my minus sign here because I'm subtracting. 3 times 5 gives you 15. And then we're going to add our a because 3a times 5 is 15a. Okay, and that's our final answer, and I hope that makes sense.